Alright, cool. So we're going to go ahead and explain AMD, accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. And thankfully, on Tuesday, we had a perfect setup form using AMD for the PM session on US30. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use all of that to explain what AMD is and how you can implement it within the USZaki strategy. Right, so AMD, first things first. What does A stand for? A stands for accumulation. All right, M stands for manipulation, and D stands for distribution. Once accumulation happens, you can expect manipulation. Once manipulation occurs, you want to try and catch the distribution. All right, so you don't want to be in the accumulation, you don't want to be in the manipulation, you want to catch the distribution. All right, this trade itself was sent in the Discord as well on Tuesday, as you guys can see, and I actually marked out the accumulation, the manipulation, and the distribution within that. So I'm just going to touch upon that so you guys can potentially see in the future, and once you do see something like this play out, you guys can go ahead and catch it. All right, accumulation. So accumulation is simply a consolidation of price. Right, so you have the market on the 1 minute time frame consolidating, going left and right, and not really going anywhere. Right, now for this accumulation, we have a range, accumulating range. So we'll go ahead and mark out the highest part of the accumulation, which is this arrow over here, and the lowest part of the accumulation, which is this arrow over here, and we're going to simply draw a box around it. Right, so this is our accumulation phase. So within this accumulation phase, all we are simply waiting to do is waiting to see one of these sides get swept. All right, so either waiting for the top of the accumulation to get swept or the bottom of the accumulation to get swept. Once people see this low get swept, all right, breakout traders will think, you know what, we're going to go ahead and continue going down further. Does it make sense? So breakout traders will go ahead and try and get in. There will be a bunch of sell orders in this area right here because people are thinking, yeah, if we get out of this range, we're going to definitely go down. And what ends up happening? They end up getting manipulated. And this is exactly what I want to talk about over here. Accumulation, which is over here. Your manipulation, which is down here. Now, notice how the manipulation lines perfectly with the USZaki strategy for the US30 AM session low. AM session low is down here. Let me just show you in the 15-minute time frame. The AM session low is down here, and as you guys can see, when we manipulated to the downside, taking out this low as well, and also taking out the AM low. We can kind of anticipate which way the market's going to manipulate because we've got our AM low so close. Does it make sense? So because we have our AM low over here and we are very close to the AM low and we have this accumulation phase, we can anticipate that the market's going to go ahead and take out the low of the accumulation, take out the AM low, and then distribute, which is our last phase, which is what we're trying to catch towards the opposite direction. Any stop losses from the AM session, they're getting taken out as well, and then from there, the market is now reversing to the upside. Here I've got accumulation. We've had a second phase of manipulation. We are now anticipating the distribution. So now that we've got everything else playing out, we need to somehow catch the distribution. We need to see confluences that give us confirmation that the market's going to go to the upside. Does it make sense? So in this scenario, okay, we had the market go ahead and push to the upside. We had displacement. We had vigorous voluminous candles move to the upside, and we had our inversion fair value gap. We had 1, 2, 3 candles right there, 1, 2, 3 candles right there. So that is our inversion fair value gap. This is potentially where we can catch our distribution. All right, so again, I marked out the inversion fair value gap, stop loss at the low, entry at the open of the inversion, and I take profit at 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. But as you can see, we could have held this even longer all the way to the AM session high, the equal highs in the AM session, which would have given us a 1 to 3.89 risk to reward ratio. But again, I stick to my 1 to 2s, and 1 to 2s is what's given me money, made me profitable, got me payouts. So I'm going to stick to my 1 to 2s. All right, there's always the potential that the market could go ahead and reverse and obviously hit your break even or hit your sell. So be happy with the 1 to 2s in my opinion, and then if you want to obviously go for anything higher, then always put your stop loss to break even. But anyways, so just recapping on accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Accumulation, we've got our consolidation range. We've got the high and the low of the consolidation range. We also have the manipulation. The manipulation goes ahead and takes out one side of the consolidation range, and for us with the USZaki strategy, takes out the AM low. And then once we've taken out and manipulated all the stop losses, we are now distributing in the opposite direction. Now we have seen confirmation that the market's going to push to the upside. We now simply need to catch the retracement, and we managed to catch the retracement over here on this inversion fair value gap. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Does it make sense? AMD, as soon as you see that within the USZaki strategy, you know for a fact, or you can be 95% sure, 96% sure that this is going to hit my TP. This is a trade that I want to catch. I just need to make sure I get my entry right. Before there's a massive move in one direction, there will always be some form of accumulation followed by manipulation to take out the stops, followed by distribution. All right, so before any massive move happens, you can expect that. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it there for today. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, by all means, you know exactly where to ask, the question section in the Discord, and I'll see you guys on the charts.